James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is October 26, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm over the target here, and I'm pretty scared about it. I'm going to show you all what just occurred. They actually just turned Cern back on. They just turned it back on. And look, everything's headed back up. Do y'all see that bump when they turned it on? And I'll show you. The bump is going to match the bump here, and that's the 50 million volt bump. Now, listen, this is when they turned it off. I'm just showing y'all. This isn't off. Then when they turn it back on just now, look what happens. It becomes much, look at the radio alternation. Easiest. Green, green, and then as they turn it back on here, it's only an hour's time here, we have a lot more polar cap absorption event. And there's nothing on LASCO here that shows protons hitting. See it go down here and go back up, and I will actually, let me see if I, look what they did to me. I will show y'all it go down when they turn it off, go back up here. I was like, wow, this is a freak show. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I don't know if we're live or not yet. They're not liking this live at all. Is it already over? It looks like it's live. See if I can receive any live data. Yeah, it looks like we're live. I'm just showing y'all. Let's do our earthquake report, right? I'm freaking out. They turned it back on here. See it? And then look what happened. The dip and then the rise again. I'm going to watch this. Look at this rise. I saw it go up and then down here. You can see it go up and then down here. Very, very worrisome indeed. And again, this is impossible to dismiss here. And back up as soon as they turn it back on. We see that pop right here when they turn it back on the 50 million volts. If anyone can hear me, oh, now we have an excellent connection. If I stick to earthquakes, we're going to have a really good night. If I show you what's happening at Cern versus what's happening everywhere else, we're not going to have such a good night, are we? All right, let's do an earthquake report. We haven't done one in a while. We'll check on Cern in a bit. Guys, I think I nailed them. It's not me, okay? I never come up with anything. Something just tells me, and you know what something is, to go check this out. I haven't checked it out in months. It was actually down. I had no idea they were doing proton experiments. And yeah, actually they are after me big time is all I can tell you. But I have to sleep with a 45. I carry one everywhere I go. I have 100 round shotguns. I have machine guns. I was an arms dealer. Actually, I'm an oil and gas attorney, but my father got an arms dealing license so he could do it legal like. Well, we were making lots of money, so I was an arms dealer for 7 years as well, right? A real one, like Kaufman Arms, Hutto, Texas. Look it up. You'll see my name, James Kaufman, like on Bizipedia or something like that, right? So they love me. They already took my left eye. I'm afraid they might go after my right one. I think they were trying to stroke me out, but I must have lived through it. And it's not me that notices anything. just like everyone else on YouTube went after that girl. Look at this. This is just unbelievable. It goes exactly like Cern does. It goes exactly like Cern. These spikes don't make any sense unless you look at the Cern activity over the last 6 hours. Then they make perfect sense. They went to full power right here, right before 1600 UTC time. Makes perfect sense then, right? And this makes perfect sense. How could this proton storm be getting stronger and stronger off of an X 1.86? They warned everyone that's in the know with that X 3.33. And I told you guys that was a warning flare. A warning flare. All right, we're going to come back and look at this. Y'all let me know if I'm still live, because I know they're not happy with me at this point. They're not. We have a pollen warning here. You can't see it right now. It's off. Pollen warning. There's pollen all over my truck. And guys, I need to take a Zyrtec, but it'll put me to sleep, so I'm not taking a Zyrtec quite yet. All right, not a Xanax. I like those too, but Zyrtec. Hey, Darlene. Let me know if you can hear me, sweetheart. Thank you. All right, let's do a good old-fashioned volcano update, which we haven't done in so long. We need to. It's like we have a lot of activity, actually. We haven't done this in over a week, maybe 10 days. I know that we're somewhere between 60 and 70 volcanoes in major or minor eruptions. And look, I think Spur is about to erupt. Hayes might erupt as well. They usually erupt together up here around Anchorage, but thus far, nothing. I'm going to go. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me fine? Guys, when the volume's super low on my videos, that's YouTube messing with the volume. Trust me, everything I do, I play while I'm editing and stuff. It's perfect. That's them messing with the videos. That's how you know you're over the target, when they take the volume down and put it. Don't write me, write them, right? I'm just saying, I have an Audio Technica microphone, and not a cheap Audio Technica. I'm just telling y'all, it'll pick up me tapping my finger on the desk. You have no idea. Listen to the mouse click. It'll pick that up too. So let's get to counting, guys. I'll get to counting. You guys get to guessing how many volcanoes are currently erupting around the globe, Earth. All right. I'm going to count kind of silently so no one gets so we have a winner. We're not going to give away anything tonight, but when we get to 100,000 subscribers, which is going extra slow because YouTube hates me now, we're going to give away 2 gold bars, 3 silver bars, and several $200 or $300 pocket knives, and some EDC equipment as well. So stick in there. We only have about 10,000 to go, and it's going quicker nowadays than it did. My first 50,000 I got in 9 months, and then I got a YouTube manager. Good times. Let me get to counting. I'll say this is the highest I've ever been at this point. The very highest I've ever been at this point. 33. 40. 50. 60. 69. 11. 69. That's a tie, I believe, if Williams was tonight. Tie of the all-time highest. Volcanoes erupting. Is Miss Tracy here tonight yet? This, I think, is a tie. of all-time highest in the 15 or 20 years I've been doing this. I think that the triangle that Mr. V&B showed was a total joke on LASCO, but what do I know, right? Got 60,000 views for it. 11-11. You gotta love it. All right, that is, I believe, a tie of the all-time high. We haven't broken 70 yet, but we're headed in that direction. I think that might be Miss Teresa with hearts, but I don't know. She could probably help us and help me remember. Now, this is actually the government in Canada. They don't work on the weekends. They don't work on the weekends, guys. Hey, Miss Teresa, I knew it. I know your entrance is. So is 69, Miss Teresa, the highest we've ever been, I think? I think it is. I know we've not been to 70. I just don't know if we've been to 69. I want to just tell y'all, the government in Canada, a lot like the French or Greek governments, and a lot like Western Europe, where Americans work 80 hours on average. I know it's probably below that, but I work about 80 hours a week, and I know Miss Teresa does. Most of these people in Canada, and not the people paying their taxes, I'm talking about government workers, they're working close to 22-hour weeks. So they get in after lunch. I know this because they won't update this map or any fire map or anything else. So they get in, and we need 2 fire maps pulled up that aren't pulled up, but we'll get those pulled up. They get in after lunch on Tuesday, and they leave. And let's see if this is from today. Looks like this might be from today. Is that a red? Let's get a date on that. Nope, it's the 25th, yesterday. So occasionally they'll do something on a Friday. The last one's always in purple. Canada is one of the only countries, even China and Russia share their earthquakes with everyone. Russia doesn't right now, while we're basically at war with them. But you'll see that China's got some real problems today, guys. Real problems today. What's up, Mike Johnson? For all y'all watching this, y'all gonna freak out, because I know I did. They turned this shit back on after I did the video. Look what happened. It turned back up to go higher. And so did it at the 100 million volts. Scared me to death. Scared me to death here, okay? When I showed y'all a few minutes ago, I gave y'all the time. And then look, when they turned it off, watch the green. We had a little break there, and then back into a full polar cap absorption event. I think we just figured out what's really going on here. A protons physics experiment on our nickel. And look at this turn back up as soon as it turns back on. I mean, we haven't any type of solar flare. I did check, by the way. I'm not just talking out my butt. You guys know that. Look, nothing. No M flare, no nothing. Nothing. Scary, scary stuff here. All right, I got to open up 2 things. I don't know why they're not open here. Let's open, first off, our fire map for the USA. There's a Canadian fire map there. That's really what I was looking for. Now, again, they don't work on the weekends, and their fire maps aren't very good, but we have GOES, and I can actually bring y'all right to the satellite, and we can look down real time at Canada, the US, anywhere you want to, actually, and we can see what's really going on. If Dr. Joey's in the house, there's been 3 large earthquakes on the Juan de Fuca plate. That's the one subsiding at the Cascadia subduction zone. The biggest one, a 4.2, and there's some different numbers coming on that. Some are larger. Down here, we had a 4.1, and then here we have lots of volcanoes going off, just so much magma movement under these volcanoes. I won't even try, but a 4.3, 4.0, forward to blah, 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 right? You move down. This is the Peruvian-Chilean wedge. Remember, Bolivia and Argentina lost the wars. They have no Pacific coast whatsoever, but they do have a lot of this volcanic park here with 26,000 volcanoes, and it's starting to wake up a little bit like I thought it might. That's the Galapagos Islands there. What's interesting about the Galapagos Islands is there's over 1,000 species of birds and animal life that only live here, just like Madagascar, which is completely on fire, as you'll see soon. Completely on fire. 4.0 here, that's in the Peruvian-Chilean wedge. And everything in yellow are volcanoes awakening. We can see some of that happening in Colombia here, into Ecuador, into Peru. And these will never awaken, in my opinion. This is going to be Cape Verde. This is going to be the Azores Islands, part of Portugal. Beautiful place. If you get to go there, go. And then we have not Reykjanes volcano, but something on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Svartsengi. And then we have one awakening. That's a minor eruption and awakening in Iceland. And if you guys don't know, Iceland has hundreds of volcanoes. And Iceland's, famous for having huge tidal waves inside of Iceland. What do I mean by inside of Iceland? Let's see if I can show y'all. They have cruises that go down. I don't think we're going to be able to show y'all here. They go into all these waterways here, and you really can't see them on this map. We're going to another one. But they have landslides that cause huge, absolutely huge tidal waves, and they get caught up in these waterways. And there's cruises that have gotten in a lot of trouble with those waterways. All right. Down here we have Heard Volcano Awakening. It's already erupted this year. Madagascar is going to be on fire, as I'll soon show y'all. Ethiopia, a 5.0, but we also have a new, hey, Lois, hey, Miss Campbell, M. Campbell. We say, Mike Johnson, I haven't seen it yet, but we'll get there. There's chemtrails so far over me. They think they're protecting us, at least the pilots do, I think. All right, Iran, this is the 4.2 everyone talked about yesterday. It very well could have been a bomb. Let's see if there's depth to it. There is. It's a default depth, though, which is curious. Could have actually been an explosion. Now, look around the biggest caldera in the world. This is called, I'm not going to try to pronounce this either, Xinjiang. This is the biggest caldera on Earth, second biggest in our solar system. And you can see that it's really built by Thailand, Vietnam Peninsula, Myanmar, Burma, into Malaysia. And the last eruption is where China made their hard lines. All these dotted lines are the Chinese provinces. Now this caldera is so big it goes into Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Mongolia. And we have a 5.1 right on top of the caldera, 4.2. This is the biggest caldera on Earth. What has saved India are the Himalayan mountains, right? Do y'all know that India, 3.4 billion people in this little bitty area. China, this huge area here. Well, China, actually here, that's Russia, has 3.3 billion. So India's taken over population. And the skirmishes on the border have all been called to a truce because of BRICS. You can thank the Biden administration for that. 2 nuclear powers working together with gold-backed BRICS. Get ready to live in a tent because you're going to be a third world country very soon thanks to the Biden-Harris administration. All right, for those of you that just got here, they turn it back off. So I I'll expect this to start turning down again. And it actually is on blue. We'll watch together. And I'll expect this to start turning green again. This is getting scary. So easy to predict them. All right, all of these volcanoes around Malaysia, Indonesia, popping off. A couple of decent-sized quakes, a 4.7, a 4.5 here, a 4.4 here in the Philippines, a 4.1. Everything in yellow here is awakening. This is up in Japan. Look at that huge gap in the plate boundaries. What is that? That's Taiwan there with a 4.4. See the red stop and then jump over? That's the island of Taiwan right there. They've got a huge problem. See that gap there? There's another one right there. This is the North American plate, the Pacific plate. Every bump you see is a volcano. 71% of the globe is underwater or seawater. So 71% of the volcanoes on average are going to be underwater. Now, yes, our governments can see what's erupting and what isn't via the methane and the heat in the ocean, but we have no idea. Everything I give you a count on, guys, is going to be something above sea level. And I just hate to see all these volcanoes awakening right where they just built 5 new nuclear plants. You know, let me just say, one of the new nuclear plants is right there. Right there. You want me to prove it? Right there. It really bothers me and pisses me off. I thought the people in Japan were the smartest people. We also have 5 new nuclear plants between Hong Kong. I won't even show it to you on the map unless Hong Kong and Shanghai right here. There's 5 new nuclear plants on the shelf here. Hope everyone's having a good day. I've got some spooky stuff to show y'all about everything tonight. Y'all stick tight because even the National Weather Center is not acting right. Nothing on the map's working. I never stumbled upon anything. Someone told me to go there and hit in a certain place, and we know who someone is. Look up. I want y'all to see all the disconnections of the red plates down here. And I think all my subscribers know that this is Zealandia, a continent rising. I believe that it covers Papua New Guinea and then New Caledonia here, Fiji and Tonga here, and New Zealand. We all know that New Zealand's making a land grab for the light blue stuff. And look, we have White Island Volcano here, and then we have Tophus. And remember the Rods of God? I did that report. They got so mad at me. And Home Reef now in full eruption. And then a 4.3 and a 4.4. Look at how funny this is going to be. White Island Volcano. White Island Volcano. And this is going to be Erebus. $6,000 worth of gold. A couple of ounces. I guess that's going up. And this is all covered by Google, so we can't see what's happening down here. They've covered this up just like they covered the U.S. air defenses up. I can show you how they've done that real quick. Boy, this swarm really bothers me here. I'm going to turn them all on in just a second. The peninsula of Russia here, there's a gap here in the Aleutian Islands owned by the U.S. The peninsula of Russia is very busy. Only one quake, but lots of eruptions. Remember, there's pollen everywhere. Even my computer has a pollen mark on it. This is Dr. Joey over here. There's some other large quakes right there on the Wanda Fuku today that we're going to go over. Does anyone need to learn what Zealandia Rising is? The continent that's rising out of the ocean here? Do we have any real newbies? I don't know. I can't see the chat. Hey, Erica, you look like a newbie. Pull up voice pronounce what? Better watch out, Mike Johnson. I need to turn the AC on. All right. It's Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. And let's see. Where was I? Before I was so rudely interrupted. I'm teasing you, Mike. Hope everything's good with you. That was fun. I'm glad you were on the side of the street you were on instead of the other side of the street, because there's no telling what could have happened to you. We don't have that shit around here. The police would surround them with helicopters and SWAT teams and machine guns, and they're all ex-special ops. They double tap them just for riding stolen motorcycles around here. I'm just saying. They don't pull that shit around here. But you live in Baltimore, so what do you expect? All right. It's not your fault. I'm sure you were born there. So I want y'all to see, this is the Philippines here. And look at this huge plate that doesn't connect here. That 4-4 there. I'm going to go ahead and turn them all on. Turn them all on. Hey, Tiffany Hartman. I didn't see it. Everyone thinks I don't see them or don't read the chat. Remember, guys, I got one eye left. I look 100% normal. And I guess there's some focus, close my right eye, from the eye. But y'all remember what occurred. I know y'all do. All right, look at Central America. Look at all the magma movement from Mexico City, where we have the first volcano in North America erupting, all the way through Central America, which is all part of North America. You can't even see the volcanoes. There's so much magma movement. Those are the quote-unquote earthquakes. These are all earthquakes. I'm not going to go into them, but hey, very unstable. I cannot believe that the volcano eruptions have not moved to the United States and Canada yet. I'm thinking that they're going to, if they already have not. We've got that 5-0 on that central plate there. Let's make sure we don't have anything to the north there. And then you can see Peruvian Chilean wedge is much more busy than we thought. So is Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. So is Colombia. So is Colombia, Sangare, Peru, etc. What else can we speak of before we go? If y'all want to see real quick, there's just a ton of volcanoes in this area. And this shows you everything in green is an active volcano above water. There's a lot more underwater, sea level, right? And here there's a lot more than it looks like, right? If you zoom in, they'll let me. Look, it froze the map. That scares me. You can see how many volcanoes there really are. Oh. Hey, Catherine. And that's just in Iceland itself. I'll turn those off so we get a little bit better movement. Then I always speak to y'all. Well, we'll talk about, since Tiffany's here, Canary Islands looks like it's trying to wake up here. Tiff, we got a 3-4, we got a 2-9, and there's another one. I don't know if I can grab it, but we have magma movement under the volcanoes in the Canary Islands. La 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 Palma. And the Straits of Gibraltar, we have the same. Up and down Italy, we have awakening and full erupting volcanoes into Sicily and into Italy. These are the French Alps, the Australian Alps, the Swiss Alps, the Italian Alps, the German Alps. This little bitty area in here is everyone's ski resort, depending on what country you live in. Right? And then, what is this? It's biblical. That's what that is. The Aegean Sea. That's where everything, every island you see off Greece's coast is a volcano. And they're all going to awaken. And that's where the biggest earthquake, it's biblical, is going to come and send a tidal wave to take out all the armies that are surrounding Israel from, according to Israel, is it 7 fronts now? I guess that's surrounded, right? I think it's 5, but they said 7 on their news release. And look, this is that fault that formed between Turkey and Syria in just about 12 months. Now all of that energy is doing exactly what I taught y'all it would. It's moving into the Aegean Sea off the coast of Greece in between Turkey and Greece. Now, also remember, Cyprus was taken over by the CIA, and that's where all your information is kept. I can even show y'all. There's a RAF Air Force base there. Well, I was on Flight Trader. There's a RAF Air Force, U.S. Air Force base there. CIA owned Cyprus right there in the middle of everything. They took it over during the Turkey-Greek 3-day war, and they're not going anywhere. Israel's right here, Lebanon to the north, Syria here. Jordan is pretty much, they don't want to get in any fights, neither does Saudi Arabia. This is Iraq. We know how much problems they've been, but we should have never been over there because they had no weapons of mass anything. We just wanted the oil. Just like the reason we're in Syria. We want the oil. That's it. That's it. And this is Iran. If y'all notice, Iran is one big what? Volcanic meltdown. That's another volcanic caldera there. There's another volcanic caldera there. And then this is the biggest one on Earth. So this is all magma flow here. Not real fertile ground, I will say, right? I try to stay away from them too. They're not really doctoring you. I want to show y'all or tell y'all that these 4 plates have the most pressure on them. And remember, there's 2 gaps here. Over 100 plates don't meet in the east, and only 4 plates don't meet in the west where you live, if you live in the U.S. or Central America and South America. Only 4 plates don't meet there. Hundreds of plates in black here don't meet. And real quickly, North American plate, Pacific plate, Eurasia plate, Indonesian plate, all this pressure. And this is Fukushima. Look, Fukushima, the rods still have not been recovered. They're still using seawater to cool those rods that are headed towards the center of the earth. And ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, they're dumping nuclear waste into the Pacific now. So your cod and all of the Alaskan fishing has gone to piss, right? Look at what New Zealand really looks like. If y'all really believe that they're moving there, well, Godspeed. 2-7, if Adrian's in the house here, and NSW, help us out with NSW, and then QLD, Queensland, New South Wales, 2-8, 56 minutes ago, and a 2-7 here. Over here near Perth, a 2-8, 40 minutes ago. We're not used to seeing a lot of earthquake activity, I will say. And I guess that's going to move us on to the next map. Around Anchorage, I think Mount Spur is about to go. I really do. I've got lots of reports on it. I almost did one today. And Mount Hayes usually goes when Spur goes. They've both erupted 3 times in 29 years. Mount Hayes is supposed to be where all the aliens and Marines work together. I don't know if that's real or false. All right, into the USBS, because it's usually BS. Remember, every dot you see, and this is what they're showing y'all, is an underwater volcano. So we don't know what's erupting there. All this magma movement is here on Mount Spur and here on Mount Hayes and Anchorage. The biggest town, 50% of the people, and this is more than Anchorage, it's like 5 towns, but 50% of the people live in Anchorage right here. In the whole state of Alaska. Did y'all know that 90% people live at 30 degrees north longitude or higher? I mean, that's a freak show, and I'll show you why that is in a bit. All right, this is for DJ, if Dr. Joy's in the house. We've got here, it's all in the Wanda Fuco, a 3-9 here, and a 3-5 here. The Wanda Fuco is being pushed under the North American plate, guys, and this is called the Cascadia subduction zone, being pushed by the Pacific plate. And this is the Cascades, if you will, the Cascadia volcanic range. That's Glacier Peak, Mount Olympic, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, Mount Hood. I guess I'm starting to know this too well, right? They always say Lake Tahoe is not a volcano and they're full of you know what. All right, we'll have a little fun. Everyone knows Clear Lake Volcanic Range here. I mean, except for the Earth Master. I don't know why he's saying that there's geysers there. Well, there's something called the Geysers Geothermal Plant here, guys. And it was actually built in 1926. And they drill into an active volcano, Cobb Mountain, or Cobb Volcano. And there's volcanoes all around Clear Lake. And this is the city of Clear Lake here. I've got two questions for you. First, how many volcanoes happened while you were at work today? We're not going to look at the plant like we usually do. There's 19 drill holes into Cobb Mountain. And I want to know how many you think you had to deal with today. I would do a 3-day, but 6 days in a row every 2 weeks. And I'd work 13.3 hours to get my 40 hours in. And I worked there for $400,000. Miss Teresa would work there for free. I'm kidding. It does look like a lot more, Mike Johnson. I think they're wrong because this looks like stacked pay, right? I want to go 33, but it's just against my better judgment. So, and then $400K for me. If I got a deal, I've only dealt with a few. I drilled 72 wells over in California. I probably dealt with 10 earthquakes, probably around this size. Biggest I've ever seen here is a 5.8, which is a big earthquake. We'll go over here and hit the button. 27. Did anyone say, oh, Donna Brown beat me with 32. 25 wins, Miss Teresa. You always win this, girl. You always win that show. Always. All right, we have a little swarm going on here. Look at that volcano sitting in the middle of northern San Joaquin Valley. Wow, you want me to prove it? Whoa. There it is. Nothing's built on it. Volcano right there in the middle of the northern San Joaquin Valley. This is Sacramento here, and this is Lake Tahoe here. Lake Tahoe is definitely a volcano. This is Long Valley Caldera on the backside of Mammoth Mountain where all the skiing goes on. It's emitting CO2 and PM 2.5 really, really badly, which is amazing. And how do I know this is a volcano? Because my friend works at the Rio Boat Yacht Club, and they rent boats and they have to constantly pull them. The pontoon boat shouldn't sink. But if a methane bubble comes up, it has no flotation, so they pull them out every week. Not completely sunk. Of course, everyone here knows about the Walker Lane fault line, the biggest secret in the world, right? The Walker Lane fault line is a fault. This is one of the 4 connections that doesn't work out. The Salton Sea here, a saltwater body here in the middle of California, probably connected to Salton Sea and or both the Pacific Ocean here. There's Catalina, a volcano that everyone plays on, and this is called the Garlock West, Central, and East. It's going to be Little Lake, Sierraless, and Ridgecrest. Let's see. Sierraless, Little Lake, a bigger swarm than usual here. And this is all going to be the Walker Lane fault line that runs right here on the Sierra Nevada and up through the Cascades. And that's supposed to be the new West Coast boundary, according to all the mainstream geologists and the USGS. Most of my subscribers have seen me pull that up, so we won't pull that up either tonight because we have a lot to go through here. But this is 22 feet below sea level. And we almost saw it flood, 2 years ago, guys? In Sacramento area, and it went all the way down to Fresno down here. It didn't flood. I thought it was going to. It will flood, and this is going to be dredged, and there'll be peninsulas and islands here, but it'll be dredged. A lot of activity here because the Garlock is breaking off from the Walker Lane. They never cover the Walker Lane. I did a great video about it, but guess what? Mine used to be number one on Google search too. Walker Lane. Real quick, I'm going to show y'all. Garlock Fault we talked about. Let's look for the words replace. Which could replace the San Andreas. The San Andreas is really the North American Pacific plate boundary over here. And this will be the plate boundary over here. There's Walker Lake right there. There's Lake Tahoe. So you can see that all the field papers show exactly what's going to happen to it. Let's check on. All right, it's headed back up. Now this is, I believe, off. So we're going to keep an eye on this. They keep shutting it on and off. And we saw them turn it on and it headed back up. If it starts to turn down now, which I can see that the 50 million volts is, then we're going to know that we're onto something here. I think we're onto something anyway. I've got it on another computer here next to me, and it's just too coincidental. These are really scary. The reason why here, and we'll see how many there were. I think just two, right? Yeah, two. A 2.8 and a 3.4. The reason these are really scary is this is Wawa Springs, this is Yellowstone, this is Snake River caldera here, and this is the Central American Kratom that hasn't moved in 20 million plus years. And when you start seeing movement on the edge there, it's, for me, scary. This is all fracking, nothing in the New Madrid. And we will bail. A lot going on in Haiti, Dominican Republic, and a lot going on in Puerto Rico, which is a volcanic island. I've been there about 50 times surfing, been to the top of the volcano. It's a big volcano. All right, this is what Canada says is going on. They're seeing a little bit of fire right here in Saskatchewan and Alberta. They haven't been working so long. It's amazing. Yellow flag or fire warning here, red flag. You can see here, the New Madrid is on fire. You see all these small fires in the New Madrid that runs right up here in Mississippi, and New Madrid is right there. In Missouri, it's right there where it turns and goes up, and then this goes up into, actually right into Lake Erie. This is Wawa Springs. This is a large fire in Yellowstone, now up to 90,000 acres, 70% contained. Another large fire south of that, 33,000 acres, 47% contained. These are Snake River fires, like where Evel Knievel jumped his bike. Here's the gorge here. No. See if I can find it. Here's the gorge here. So we have 79,000 acres, and then we have a new fire right on top of it, 8,000 plus acres, 5% contained. They do the same thing over here. 176,000 acres contained, but then they have 3 or 4 new ones right on top of it that aren't contained. And this one is contained at 26,000. Now, when you zoom in, everything in yellow and red is a new fire from today. Started today. So you can see right here, it's going to be our Snake River caldera. That's Craters of the Moon there, if you've heard of that. Looks like you're on the moon. Probably filmed a lot of movies, quote-unquote movies there. New fire. All new fires over here in Oregon. Nothing happening in Washington whatsoever. And when you zoom in a little bit further, you don't only see the new fires, you also see the fires from yesterday. These are all new fires from today. Going into LA, new fires from today. Everything in yellow and red. This is Palmdale and Lancaster, where the Kardashians live. If I zoom in a little bit more, these are all the active fires. South Central, they're stealing all the fire hydrants to sell the brass out of them so they can't put any fires out. And most of these fires are out, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that this one is. The airport fire's out. The bridge fire is just about out. Let's see if the line incident is out. Just about out as well down I-10. These are all fires in yellow and red that started today. I was surprised how little damage Israel did to Iran. I don't know what's going on there, man. Their air defenses were Russia's latest and greatest. Pretty scary. I watched them in action by myself because I couldn't really put it on. These are all fires that are burning. If you want job security, become a fireman in Los Angeles County. If you go to any other city in the U.S., and we'll check Wawa Springs here. You gotta zoom in so much it's hard to check it. But these are all fires burning in Wawa Springs. Contained, brand new, contained. I don't see, you gotta go in a circle really and be zoomed in. You have to know it well, which I do. Brand new, but not today. And if I back up, if y'all don't know anything about Wawa Springs is this big circle here. It's the it's the biggest shield volcano in the world and in our solar system. And it's the one that stopped the Colorado River from flowing at least 12 times I know about. That's what made the Grand Canyon, all the magma flow that blocked the river from flowing. And I want to point out all the fires here in the New Madrid, guys. And there's a new fire over here. Whoa. Slow feed. New fire. And wow, I was thinking once Dan moved away, there wasn't going to be any more fires in Boston. Is Dan visiting Boston right now? Dan, are you visiting Boston again? This is the only other state we have a fire starter in. Notice how they're down the expressways here. That's all I can say to you guys. We have a fire. Look, we have a fire starter. This is the only area. Flag warning, but this is not. And these are all active fires and new fires for the day. It's the only other town in the U.S. where this shit happens. And I'm kidding about Dan, guys. Obviously, I hope, right? I hope. But I know exactly where he lives. Or lived right there. He lives in Florida now, guys. But his daughter still lives there. All right, we got some really bad air quality here in the Central Plains, 126. This is, it's called nanograms per meter cubed. Just 10 nanograms per meter cubed increase your lung cancer percentage by 36%. And we've got some bad air quality. 160, not 10, 160. Caught here in the valley, up and down the coast. They said that we have terrible air quality. I will show you all the PM 2.5 coming across. A lot of this is coming from the volcanoes here. These are the sources that they say can produce PM 2.5. Volcanoes, heavy industrial, nuclear fires, of course. And we've seen it produced in sandstorms, but that's not on the list. So it's been new as of, I guess, this year, last year. There's a big area here of really bad air quality. This is all marked up on weather.gov as bad air quality here. I can tell y'all I've had asthma all day. So hurting, but that's all right. You can see Mexico City has really bad air quality as well, or actually Guadalajara. I think Quintero is a big industrial area. I know Monterey is, but the air quality doesn't seem to be bad there. So everything in yellow is bad news, but everything in red or orange is worse news. And regularly, the thing that causes PM 2.5, which is the deadliest particulate or deadliest pollutant known to man, because it's so small it breaks the blood-brain barrier, well, is fires. Fires is the number one cause of it, okay? Let's just get that straight right now. This is PM 2.5. We'll put it in motion. I was showing y'all that it was being produced by Catalina and these volcanoes here in the Sea of Cortez, but they're not going to show that anymore. They made the call. James is on us again. And this PM 2.5 is all coming off the sand dunes. Look at that, 145 nanograms per meter cubed coming right across. Luckily, most of this stuff, and I don't mean luckily for our friends in Ireland and the UK, is turning and going that way. But usually, now we're getting a disturbance that's forming right here, and I will show y'all all the weather manipulation going on next. We'll run this through real quick. You can see the problems we're having. You can see Georgia looks pretty bad, guys. So many military flights on the border right now. I will show you all if y'all want me to. Stick around. So many helicopters going up and down the border. U.S. Army helicopters, I've never seen this before. I've seen it one night. That was it, about 2 years ago. They're starting a storm here, and they're starting a storm here, and we're going to have 2 hurricanes. Look at this crap coming across here. Remember, just 10 nanograms per meter cubed increase your lung cancer percentage by 36%, according to who? The International Research Association on Cancer. Or I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it because they put me in trouble. All right, this is the last 24 hours. Just a quick look. These are landsat passes, our newest and best satellite. Everything else is going to be GOES, and you can see all the fires that aren't being reported in Canada. That includes the Northwest Territory. And again, it's only 24 hours, right? British Columbia, Alberta, really nothing over in Saskatchewan or Manitoba. And then down, really, I've never seen Washington make it like it's making it. Landsat's newer satellite, and it makes these passes, and it picks up the heat here. This is Yellowstone here. These are all larger fires. Each one of these things that y'all see that looks this size are 404 hectares, or at least 1,000 acres, okay? 1,000 acres. And you can see there's several of them down here in LA. It's only the last 24 hours. I'll let y'all see, wow, there's some fires in Oklahoma that aren't showing up on our AGS. Several of them. And then you can see the Landsat pass here and the Landsat pass here. That's showing you where all the heat is. Remember, every large flame you see is 404 hectares or 1,000 acres plus. If you want me to prove it, it actually does say that. All right, we're going quickly here. The same is true for this. You can see the Landsat passes here. It's our newest. I don't know if it goes around the world or what, but gosh, I don't know why I can only take such a small view unless it's very low orbiting. You can see some of the fires here in the U.S. You can see the rainforest on fire. We send $10 billion a month to Brazil to take care of this, and they've taken care of nothing. All of Madagascar's on fire. That's another place that has just tons of animals only found on that island. And this is the Congo. A lot of the Congo's on fire. And this gap here, watch my latitude. This gap here is going to be the equator. It's going to be the equator. Watch this. Look, this gap here. It's going to look at lat up there. It's going to be the equator. I don't know why the equator does not catch fire, but it doesn't. And of course, every bump in the road, well, we know what those are. All right, let me show you all them seeding clouds here. That's what they're up to again. You can see all the irregular lightning. I will update this to see if I can show y'all any of the cloud seeding. I'd seen it earlier. There's the brown. Can y'all see the brown and black? Let's watch that again. So this is north of the Yucatan Peninsula here. And I want y'all to see the black here. Wait, let it start over. Here we go. There it is. Now watch the irregular lightning when it hits that black stuff, whatever it is that they lay down. They're starting one storm there, a hurricane, by the way. And they're starting another storm, believe it or not, down here with cloud seeding. See the black? See the black here? Let's watch it go through. The brown is the byproduct of the storm being created going over it. It was black. The byproduct's brown here. This cloud seeding throughout here caught on radar. You can see the irregular lightning, extremely irregular. And just to kind of prove to y'all that I know what I'm talking about, look at all the black up there. There's not even a storm, but look at the lightning strikes. To prove to y'all I know what I'm talking about, look, this just came up. They're making a hurricane here and one here. Get ready for election day. There's going to be a lot going on. A lot going on. We'll put this in action real quick. This is looking like it's going to hit Hawaii over here. This is the one I just showed y'all, south of Yucatan here. Irregular cloud seeding. Should be one starting up here. This is windy.com's AI. It's not always great. We do have that cool front that might save everyone. But if that, it's really not even a cold front. It's an upper level low. They call it, look at that. Look at that. So we're going to have all this meet. And I see even tornadoes this late in the season right here throughout Oklahoma, Kansas. Look at all that. And I'm talking about Tuesday, Wednesday. They're going to try to turn this place into hell before the what? The Tuesday election. Y'all get ready, man. It's going to be a nightmare. When they're this far behind, they're willing to do anything. Anything. All right. We're about to have a reading here. See the air quality here where I'm at? This is actually, my county's here, but I'm having a lot of problems. Y'all see how there's nothing on this map? Well, something told me to start looking at the map. And as soon as I did, there's all kind of stuff that's not on the map for the first time ever. Like this, hazardous weather outlook in Oklahoma. This is real time from today. I didn't make this up, right? But it's not on the map. And I'll do it again for y'all. This is to show y'all. It's everywhere that I looked. Look, it's not on the map. First time I've ever seen this shit. All right. We also have, and Miss Teresa, I'm watching the time. I know where we're at. This is today's. We have that front coming on, mixed precipitation, rain. They call it a high. It's definitely not a high. It's a subtropical low. How do we know that? It's spinning counterclockwise, not clockwise, or we know it was a high. Although they name it a high after it comes on ground. This is the front that might save us from whatever, but we have this other one. This is the one that really might save us, or might turn into a tornado alley situation. Tomorrow you can see all the mixed precipitation over Washington, Oregon, Colorado, or California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, and then that moves actually further in, and that's going to be either something that causes a lot of tornadoes or something that saves the U.S. from these storms that are inbound. We have other storms coming off the coast of Africa that I have not discussed yet. Looks like they got the beams off the schedule here. They're going stronger than 7,000. Well, this is gigavolts. The other one is teravolts, right? So GeV, and it looks like it's off the hook, but they turned at least the red beam off. Let's see what we've got here. Looks like it's going to head back down here. This is a screwball deal to be involved with this shit. Heck, I don't even want to know, really. But you can see it turning down as soon as they turn that thing off. I don't know what they're doing. It's just that, ladies and gentlemen, nothing's happened that should be causing this. And that 3.33, that was a warning to all the people in the know. I called that out when it occurred. That everything you're about to see is a drill. We'll call it a drill, right? All right, let's see if Miss Teresa's in the house tonight, guys. Give me. What did Miss Grandma have to say? What's up, Tip? What's up, DJ? DJ, did you see the 3 quakes over on the, Juan de Fuco plate? Nothing huge. A 4, 2, and a couple high 3s. Is Miss Teresa in the house still, or did she fall asleep on us? It's burning in several places in Oak, and it's weird. They have a special warning. James Kaufman, World News Report today.
Of course I'm here, and you have my permission.
What do you think? I'm not saying I'm on anything here, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried because nothing matches up on the space weather side, but everything matches up on the Cern side. And I don't even really...
We're not going to have any warning. It's going to be in a blink.
So,
and there's nothing to worry about.
I'm not worried.
It's going to be okay.
Well, when I say I'm worried that I might be wrong and providing disinformation. That would be my only worry. And,
I'm not worried about that at all.
You know, my other question is, why do you think that all this is not showing up on the main map like it always does? But when you hit the individual maps on weather.gov, you see that this is a hazardous weather outlook here in Oakland.
That's interesting, isn't it? Now look at all that shit's coming right from me again.
Yep, I do see it. It looks like it's going to be a tough one, too.
It's 30 degrees here right now.
Guys, they're going to do everything they can, weather-wise, to shut this. It was funny, Noah, after they saw my video, came out on Twitter and X and said that there's no such thing as weather manipulation. So under their deal, I put the National Science Foundation.gov's report.
That's funny. Good job.
I said, come on, guys. Y'all been doing it since 48. Here's the report. Here's the budgets. I gave them the yearly budgets. No answer. Usually they answer me. They hate me. I absolutely love it, though. You know that.
I'm going to read Psalm 51 for Miss Donna.
Okay. I think we might have done that, but I've erased all my memory. My computer guy came over and helped me.
I know, but she asked for it just now, so I'm going to read it for her.
Yes, ma'am. 51?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
PSALM 51.
Yes, ma'am. All right. I got the wrong version. Hold on real quick. I'm sorry. All right. This is the right version that I can understand at least. I know a lot of you would rather have a little bit older version, but guys, I can't understand it, so... Miss Teresa,
I can pull out my King James if you want.
No, I'll never understand you. Does it say, and it might say something, for the director of music, a psalm of David, when the prophet Nathan came to him after David had committed adultery with Bathsheba.
Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfalling love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions, wash away all my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight, so that you are proved right when you speak, and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Surely you desire truth in the inner parts. You teach me wisdom in that inmost place. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me from your presence, or take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me willing spirit to sustain me. Then I will teach transgressions your ways, and sinners will turn back to you. Save me from blood guilt, O God, the God who saves me, and my tongue will sing of your righteousness. O Lord, open my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. You do not delight in sacrifice, or I would bring it. You do not take pleasure in burnt offerings. The sacrifices of God are broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, you will not despise. In your good pleasure, make Zion prosper. Build up the walls of Jerusalem. Then there will be righteous sacrifices, whole burnt offerings to delight you. Then bulls will be offered on your altar. Amen.
Amen. All right, so we all need to get cleaned up right now. Things are playing out, gosh, just like someone predicted thousands of years ago, which is, if I wouldn't see it for myself, I wouldn't believe it at some level, right? But everything's playing out exactly like all of this that was written a couple thousand years ago. So it's, and again, I have faith, so Miss Teresa, when I say it's scary, I'm not afraid, but I do feel for my daughter because I want her to have some more time here on Earth, if that makes any sense.
Have you thought about North Carolina at all?
I've looked into it a lot today and yesterday.
Well, Two Rivers or Toe River, it is the river that is melting the boots of the peoples.
Right.
And all of that water runs into the Tennessee River and the Ohio River, and then into the Mississippi, and then into the Gulf. And reports of the bleeding and nose bleeding and coughing up blood and everything. It's like mustard gas.
Y'all, hopefully y'all realize that FEMA had to deploy over 10,000 body bags, and they're trying to hide it from you guys. And they're also trying to bulldoze all these towns right now instead of go in there and do what you're supposed to do, right? And luckily, we've got some real men and ladies, I'm sure, building some roads out there so that, FEMA won't do anything, so that we can get in there and figure out what's going on. By we, I mean the people.
It's already cold, and those people are intense.
And from what I understand, there's a lot more deaths than that were reported. A lot more. And
well, now they have isolated those people. They won't let anybody to them because of their symptoms.
There's what symptoms? There's some real men that are building roads out of nothing. I've seen yesterday and today. They got heavy equipment out there, building roads right to those towns. And FEMA won't drive on them, but really no one cares. What type of symptoms?
Blistering of the skin, bleeding eyes, ears, nose, and mouth.
So,
mustard gas symptoms.
Do you think that there was more to or inside of the...
That's what I'm saying. what chemicals are used for those crystal minings that they're doing on Black Mountain?
Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know about that. If it was oil and gas, I would tell you how terrible it is, okay? And how bad it is.
You know, I'm sure it's acids, right?
So that's what we use. We use acids to make the rocks more permeable. And they always say, oh, but we ran steel piping through the freshwater table. I'm like, but acid runs, if it can run right through rock, it'll run right through that steel pipe too, lady.
Well,
sir.
if it's eating away people's boots that get in it, or the dirty mud or the dirty water, whatever it is, it's some kind of acid.
And that is how they make rock more permeable. It's part of fracking. That's what fracking is pouring acid down these holes, guys. And I want to keep it YouTube friendly, but that's...
So they poured so much acid down these holes, and then when the storm came...
It got washed everywhere.
Flood in the water, it just washed it...
Everywhere. Yes, and that's... I mean, if y'all only knew what
That's some of the best trout in the world.
Is it?
In those rivers, but not anymore.
My dad is the guy that ties his own flies and goes up to Montana, and I don't know if I guess he's caught a few trout that I've seen in pictures, but he just likes getting out there, you know what I mean? But that is sad, because that is what they do with all of the shale plays, which is pretty much all of the natural gas and oil plays left. They were cut.
It was my thought that it was some kind of acid.
Oh, it is. It is. That's what we pour down. It's nicer to say fracking, but all fracking is, and I've said, I think before on this channel, is pouring acid to make the rocks, quote unquote, more permeable, really to eat through the rocks, right? That's all it really is. And you don't want to get any of that in your soup. Right? So, well, Miss Teresa.
God bless you. You're welcome. Much love to all. Good night.
Hey, good night. Thank you so much. All right. Is there anything anyone wants to see? I thought I was going to show y'all something, but I forgot what it was. Look, it's headed right back up. Oh, gosh. Look, they won't let me go on anymore. I knew they were going to do this. They've done this before. Look, they turn it back on. It's headed right back up for a new all-time high. Y'all think I'm kidding with y'all, but I'm not. I wish I was. Look. As soon as they turn it on, right here, about 14 minutes ago, damn thing, after it was going down, when I told you, they turn it off, it goes down, they turn it off here, I watched it. I've got one computer just solely with this and Cern next to it on one screen, and it's on 24 hours a day now. I don't believe that there was a solar flare. It sure looked like the biggest solar flare I've ever seen. But you know what? All this should have happened I was up till 3 a.m., which is right here. And y'all, look, from these 2 hours here, do y'all see any difference whatsoever? No. No difference whatsoever. Cern was turned on the day before. And I finally, something told me to go look. And if we go to October 24th, it looks like they were messing with it here. Actually, 2-4. So this is when they said the 3.3 hit right here. And this is when, right here, they said that the next one hit. And look what's happened since then. Nothing. There's no, on LASCO C3, there's no particles. Anytime there's a proton storm, what is there? What is there? Y'all know. Y'all are smart. These aren't particles. These are stars. Unfortunately, I wish they were particles. There's the blast. Look, they speed it up. Someone told me there's time missing, so let's see. Who speeds this shit up? I don't see any time missing yet. They actually, there's almost an hour, 45 minutes missing. But everything else is, there's another 45 minutes missing. There's an hour 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 missing. Look, Mr. B&B thinks that this is a spaceship. I mean, I love the guy and all, right? But get at least a high school degree, please. That's a spaceship. Y'all see the lines? I don't want to be a jackass, but it's hard for me. As y'all know. As y'all know. No, it's not a spaceship. Look. It's so hard for me. To be sweet. I want to be sweet. I want to be sweet like Trump wants to be, but we just can't. We tell the truth because that's all we can do. All that is NASA screwing with us. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Look, instead of every 12 minutes, they're 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Wow. They screwed off the 12-minute deal and they made it 1 hour. And who's to say that this is what's happening on our sun? As you guys saw, when this goes back on, look, oh no, oh no, oh no. Look, you can't make this crap up. These people are going to rag on me on the other video because I wasn't on long enough to show y'all, but you guys have been on with me for an hour. And you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Y'all saw it go down when they turned it off. So did I. And then now what happened when they turned it back on? This is scary shit, in my opinion. Right? The buzz, 11:11. I think we're all here for just the experience, right? And, you know, I'm not saying I'm right about anything. I'm the only one that reported the truth. I still want to find out who that lady was, but it wasn't who everyone else said it was. And as soon as I looked at the nose and the features and the weight, I did find a picture of her at the event, and I put that video up. I feel terrible. That lady had to take down her LinkedIn account, although she's a Democrat, so I guess I don't feel too bad, really. I didn't do anything to her personally because I had discernment, whereas nobody else had discernment. What would be causing this to still go up to new highs? Can anyone figure this out? This is going to shoot right through and go to new highs, but you know the problem with all that is we haven't had any new flares. Look, nothing. All right. Did someone want me to do something? I think someone wanted me to show you guys something. Yes, and it's climbing just like I told y'all. As soon as they turn this crap back on, look, you can follow the black line if you want the climbs and the declines. Proton physics ramping up. And I hate this. Stable beams? False. I've never seen them say that. I spent a lot of time on Cern. And these are unstable beams? Is that what you're saying? And you can see they're right under 12,000 TeV or trillion volts. And y'all have to admit that we're nailing it here. So let me even grab it anymore. Look at that. As soon as they turn it back on. It shot right back up. And I showed y'all earlier at 10, when they turned it off, it went right down. It works perfectly. Perfectly. And you know what? What would be causing this to go up? With no protons, no white specks hitting LASCO C3. You know, I'd never seen an explosion that big on the sun before. I really have not. As far as the flare on goes, solar ultraviolet imager, I was like, this can't be a 186 only. I really have never seen anything like that. Huge coronal mass ejection. Should be here in 25 hours maximum. And look at this. Why would it go up and down, up and down? Because it's based on when they turn this shit on or off, on or off, on or off. That's really all we're seeing here. It's unbelievable. I think that they know. Oh, it's not all the stars. A lot of them are, Tiff. We've been into, if y'all remember the disco ball satellites, guys, that I covered, they are light speed. They send information at light speed back to the ground, the disco ball satellites, and there's, I guess, about 30 of them up there. Those are the things that you think are stars that are turning all the different colors. All you really have to do is type in disco ball satellites. There's a lot of them. And then, oh, I spelled it wrong. But they know what it is. Look, these are some of them. We'll go into images. These are some of them that we have in orbit right now. They actually, this is one exactly that's in orbit. This is the one being made. I think there's close to 30 of them. The Lagos is a 1970 era's disco ball satellite. But they've got newer ones. 40 years ago, NASA put a disco ball in space. There's a lot newer ones. They send out information at light speed back to the ground, which I don't understand. But they've been doing it a long time, since I was born, right? What y'all see when you see those stars turning different colors? It's a disco ball satellite. No, I just can't believe that. I guess that this thing would turn up when they turn it on, and it turned up. Does anyone think I'm right? I know. I liked it. I liked it. I haven't gotten a super chat or a cup of coffee in a couple of days. You know, making me cry all the work that I'm putting out. If anyone can buy us, I just can't even believe that this. How can it turn down and then up? There's no method to this madness. Tiff? Yes, the ones that change colors are the disco ball satellites. I did a complete video on all of them that have been deployed, but they took it down. They took it down, just like they'll take this one on Cern down soon. Especially after they see that we totally nailed them with the on-off button, right? No, Mike. I thought it was me, so I looked into it and find out that they have 30 that I know. The first one was launched by Japan, 1970. Since then, they've gotten more and more intense, and somehow, hey, Mike, lots of love to you, man. I was just glad you were on the right side of the street over in Baltimore, man, because those gangs are no fun, are they? And I don't think, can you carry a gun there? You know, look, we're getting mad at me. You know, God made man, but Sam Colt made man equal. They know I just busted them. They know I done busted them this time, guys. Look, we're about to hit the... Look at this. I can't believe it. It is hard to believe. I can't believe it. I look. Off. Watch the black line. It's kind of like the equation, if you will. So look, proton physics. And what are we in? We're in a proton storm. Proton storm here. And what's so funny is this all started, the Israelis, they run Cern. 26 countries own Cern, but most of the scientists are Israeli. I don't know what they do there, but they are messing with protons, and you can see what's going on here. It's when they turn it off, and when they turn it on, off, on. And I can't get a real good close-up because they're messing with my system right now. But I guess that's all right, right? I can't believe that 26 countries are paying for their own demise. That's me and you guys. Me and you. Paying for their own demise, and we don't have a choice. And no, Roger doesn't really know about this stuff. That's why I can interview him a million times and we get the same sentence over and over. I love the guy, but hey, there's a lot more going on at Cern than he or we know about. And I think that this is a good taste of it. Hopefully you guys agree with me and you don't think I'm crazy, but I understand. I would think I'm crazy until I saw this shit. I showed y'all it turned off and it went down, and then it turned back on, now it's going back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I can't believe is there's no protons. No protons. Can you believe B&B went to print 60,000 views calling this a spaceship? I mean, I'm going to need some pills or something after this. Oh, these are hard lines, James. Hard lines. Hard lines. Help. Help. The sun, guys, just so you guys know, is this little spot right here. Right, and all this is some sort of plasma that's not moving. If y'all look, there's usually, not today, but 99.9% of the time, there's plasma. And you can see that sitting there the whole time. It's just a camera relic. That's it. That's it, man. Help. I can't believe, you know what really makes me mad is they're taking away core. You know that core is our best that we have. I always go to core. Look, they're replacing it with this bullshit crap. When we see core, we know what's going on. This is the new core. They want core down. Remember, I always go to core 1? That's that gray split screen with H2 and core 1. This is their new core 1. It's not currently available. It's going post-launch testing. It's already in orbit, but they're going to take away the good information because they must not be able to control core 1. So they're going to put bullshit 1 up instead. This is goes 19 core 1. It's just not the same, is it? Soon we'll never know. Yeah. What's up, Big Al? All right, guys, we're gonna jump and bail. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow, as you guys know, but this is freaking me out. Freaking me out, and y'all know it is. Lots of love to each and every one of you guys. If there's an X flare, my phone will go off. If there's a fake X flare, my phone will go off. and I'll get up and I'll make sure that you guys get the real or fake information, depending, well, on if it's real or fake. I have no way of knowing. Lots of love. Please share. Please subscribe. Always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro world. Let y'all chat. I'll close it down. It's so wild that this is not on the map. Not on the maps. Look, nothing's on the map anymore. I've never seen that before. Just me personally, right?